We're beginning the final chapter of Paul's letter to the Philippians, and while this might look like a list of parting instructions, this section is packed with practical wisdom, pastoral tenderness, and theological depth. These are real-life instructions for messy, ordinary Christian living. Let's read Philippians 4:1-7 together. So then, my dearly loved and longed-for brothers and sisters, my joy and crown, in this manner stand firm in the Lord, dear friends. I urge Euodia, and I urge Syntyche to agree in the Lord. Yes, I also ask you, true partner, to help these women who have contended for the gospel at my side, along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers whose names are in the book of life. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your graciousness be known to everyone. The Lord is near. Don't worry about anything, but in everything, through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Paul begins with affection. My dearly loved and longed for brothers and sisters, my joy and crown. This is more than sentiment. It's a picture of pastoral investment. Paul doesn't just write theology. He writes as someone who has suffered with, prayed for, and walked alongside these people. They are his joy now and his crown in eternity, fruit that will last. And what's his exhortation? Stand firm in the Lord. Not in your preferences, not in your emotions, not in your traditions, but in the Lord, rooted, anchored, steady. This is tied to everything we've seen. Stand firm in discernment, stand firm in unity, stand firm in humility, stand firm as citizens of heaven. Then comes something deeply human. I urge Euodia and I urge Syntyche to agree in the Lord. Two women, both believers, are in conflict, and Paul doesn't ignore it. He addresses it by name. Why? Because unity matters. It affects the whole church, and it impacts the gospel witness. But notice, Paul doesn't shame them. He urges them, and he appeals to the church to help. Help these women who have contended at my side. That phrase is important. These women weren't passive. They had fought for the gospel, labored with Paul. He calls them co-workers, synergos in Greek, the same word he uses for Timothy, Epaphroditus, and others. This is a powerful reminder. Disagreements don't mean disloyalty, and peacemaking is everyone's responsibility. Now, Paul says something that might sound cliché unless you've been paying attention. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Why repeat it? Because joy is not automatic, especially when life is hard, relationships are strained, or the future feels uncertain. But remember, Paul is writing from prison. He's not rejoicing in circumstances, he's rejoicing in the Lord. This isn't fake positivity. It's rooted in knowing Christ, pressing on, and remembering our heavenly citizenship. Joy is a result of maturity, discernment, and hope. Then Paul adds, let your graciousness be known to everyone. The Lord is near. Now this word graciousness is tricky to translate. In Greek, it's epiekes, a word that means gentle, yielding, patient, reasonable. It's a rare virtue, a kind of humble flexibility, a Christ-like posture that doesn't demand its way. This connects beautifully to the slave mindset and to discernment, because mature believers aren't just right, they're gracious. And Paul says, let that be seen by everyone. In a world that's harsh, quick to react, and always fighting for rights, gentleness stands out. Now Paul speaks to our inner world. Don't worry about anything. That word for worry, mermno, means to be pulled in different directions. Paul's not saying life won't be heavy. He's saying, don't carry it alone. Don't be divided inside. What's the alternative? In everything, through prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Prayer isn't just asking, it's unloading. It's releasing what we weren't meant to carry. And thanksgiving is the lens that reminds us of who God is, even before we see the answer. Here's the result. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. This peace is not from perfect circumstances. It's the result of relational nearness to Christ. And Paul uses a military word here, guard, like a soldier protecting a city. God's peace stands watch over your emotions, heart, and your thoughts, mind. When you let go of worry and press into Him, let's tie it all together. This passage is intensely practical, but deeply theological, and every theme echoes what Paul has been building. Discernment is lived out in relationships and in how we respond to worry. The slave mindset teaches us to be gracious and to seek unity. Joy in Christ is not a feeling, it's a mindset. Contentment, though stated fully later in verse 11, is preparing to surface here. It's about emotional stability in a world of chaos. Peace is the fruit of prayerful dependence and relational closeness to God. This is maturity in action. Questions to reflect on. Are you standing firm or spiritually drifting? Where do you need to help restore unity in your community? Is your joy anchored in the Lord or in your circumstances? Are you known for graciousness or something else? What's been dividing your mind? And have you truly brought it to God? This is not just the end of a letter. It's the invitation to a gospel-shaped life. Rooted in Christ, rejoicing through hardship, gracious under pressure, and guarded by the peace that only God gives. Let's not rush past these verses. Let's live them. Thanks for being here. See you in the next one.